Hello, guys, and welcome to Div2 Podcast, round. Sorry, round 3. I should have worked that out already. I'm joined today by Jack, or as most of you probably know him as, J. Cole.
Hey, what's up? I'm sorry if you can hear my dog in the background. He's being a bit annoying, but hey, he'll go away soon.
Hey, um, yeah. Jay, you've had what is it? 2 races now in Div 2.
hmm
2 races.
Yeah.
And you've done. Is it second in both? No, it's not second in both.
No, I got fourth in D3 in the first race.
Yeah.
Second in
Second
Bahrain,
in Bahrain, and then it
and
was
fifth in China.
fifth last night. I
Yeah.
don't know why I said second because I know you were right in front of me, and I know I wasn't third. Um. Yeah. So, let's get straight into it then. So it was China. Um. Most people know the calendar,
Track.
so China.
Yeah, a
Um.
track that I absolutely hate.
I will agree with that. It's always been. I know. You might say the opposite, but I think it's always been a pad track.
I can see how.
Yeah,
I can see how, but at the same
I'm
time, I just think
god
it's
awful there.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So quali was mixed up to say the least because it wasn't. It was raining, but it wasn't like
Too
um,
heavy.
it wasn't like proper into conditions. It was a bit lighter, wasn't it? And that's what I felt.
Yeah,
So
bit
it
of
was
a wet quali, but not too
it was it was kind
bad
of
to the point where
drying
it was just
towards the
on
end.
wets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you couldn't
it's probably
really
how I
get
got second.
yeah you couldn't really get the best times in really. So run down the grid. So we had Lee on pole. He wasn't there in Bahrain, was he? But
No,
he was
but
second in Australia, I think. Um,
yeah, I've now found out that Lee is extremely quick.
yeah,
Especially finishing, what was it, seven? I think it was like seven
he was
tenths.
7 tenths
Yeah,
clear of anyone, and
yeah,
then the next 10 cars were about 7 tenths between them. Yeah,
yeah.
he was insanely quick. He could be disputed. I think he probably should go Div 1. He's quick enough,
I I'd
but
I'd say so
if
too.
there's
Yeah,
spaces, if there's not space, obviously, you'll have to stay in
it all just
Div
depends.
2.
It could
Um,
just be that he was really quick in the wet. We don't
yeah,
know,
well,
but
he seemed to have the pace in the race, but he did get caught um, towards the end. We'll get onto that later, I think. But we'll move down the grid. We had J. Cole, yourself in second,
myself in
which I
second.
think. I don't know where you qualified in Bahrain. It was down the grid, wasn't it? Seventh,
Yeah, something
about
like that in
seventh.
Bahrain.
So definitely, you managed. I don't know how good your lap was, but I guess you managed. You said you managed to get it in at about the right time. So
Yeah. I mean, I
um,
had to do about 2 runs, I think, on my last set of qualifying, because I think I came out with like 4.5 minutes to go, and
yeah,
I kind of judged it wrong as to just doing like the 1 run for it.
yeah,
But I'm kind of glad I'd done 2 runs for it now, because I ended up finishing getting in second.
yeah.
So
Um, it's quite close between. Wait, it was. Oh my god, it was so close between second, third, and fourth. Jesus.
mm, under a
V5.
tenth.
Yeah, V5 was 400 back from you in third, and
Mm.
then YHYY was a further 2 thousandths back from that. That's
It was close. It was
whew,
very close.
that's insane. We had Noah in the Sauber, 9 tenths back from the leaders. From the leader, Adam F1 racer was a second down. Shari was right close to him as well, as was Poe,
Eh,
who returned
Yeah, in fact,
after
6th, 7th, and 8th are all pretty close as well.
Australia because he didn't race in Bahrain, but he qualified second in Australia. So maybe it is just the wet conditions. It's throwing,
Maybe.
yeah, because Jari um, is definitely up there with the quickest in this league, and how he
Yeah.
qualified seventh. Whew, I don't know. Tiggerby, um, ninth, 1.4 off. I want to talk more about him later
Yep.
because I had some moments with him in the race. Then it was me in 10th place, 1.5 seconds off the pace. I honestly could not find any grip. I just really struggled in the wet.
Yeah.
um,
I mean, that was my first lap or first set of laps that I've actually done around China in the wet.
mm,
That was I'm kind of shocked that I ended up
yeah,
getting in second, but
because
as you were saying, the conditions were drying up.
we were in a practice session before, weren't we? And
Yeah.
I was judging my pace off the because you were on the ultras, and I set laps on the softs, expecting to go into quali and be setting times on the softs. And I judged my gap, and it was about 9 tenths. So I thought, it comes to quali, I'm actually up there fighting for a high position.
Yeah.
And it comes to the wet, and I did no practice for the wet, no grip, and I think it was either my first or my second lap that I set that time on.
Yeah.
And on my last lap, I was 6 tenths up or something like that, and I think I invalidated it or I messed up somewhere. Um, Alright. Bastos was P11. Not at the back. I think he's been at the back for the others. I'm not sure. Where was he in? I think. I
I think
think he was
Bahrain
last
he
for
was
the other
quite
two.
high up.
I mean,
I th
in qualifying, I think he was at the back.
Oh right, okay.
I think in the race he finished about sixth or something. Um,
Mm.
Don Davey, making his first appearance, qualified 12th. MCR kind of went under the radar in qualifying, especially, and in the race even more so.
He was 1,000th behind Don Davey.
Yeah, those three are close again. Bastos, Davey, and MCR,
Yeah.
all within about what is that, three hundredths of each other.
Yeah.
Then you had Army Tricks. Last time's race winner qualified 14th, nearly 2 seconds off the pace. So you got to feel like he's made a mistake or he just hasn't got a clean lap in. And then how
Yeah.
far was
I mean,
Cloudy off the pace?
it's a mix. As I said, it's because of it being rain. A lot of people obviously don't tend to do well in the rain as opposed to dry. So
Yeah,
maybe he's just one that is better, obviously, out in the dry as instead of it being in the rain, and then vice versa for me. Obviously, me being better in the wet than the dry.
yeah.
Who knows?
And then rounding up the grid, also someone that went under the radar, I think, was Cloudy Balloons. Although, saying that, he did get involved in one incident, which I don't know what lap it was on. Lap 6. We'll get onto
I think
that.
it was lap 6.
So that's qualifying. If we move on to the race now, we'll just go through the race, and then we'll get to the results after that.
Yep.
So I think the start was fairly. I think it went fairly even. Now, let me just watch 3.5's POV of the start.
I think from what I remember, I managed to sort of keep up with Lee at a point, but then my tyre deg was just going down
Yeah,
rapidly, and I had YH that was definitely trying to overtake me at certain points that I
yeah,
was kind of surprised about, but managed to get past me in the end. And then V5 got past me down at the hairpin, and then Poe got past me down at the hairpin.
yeah. I
I
saw
really
that.
do not like that corner. And then
um,
Adam got past me down at that hairpin, but then I just went straight into the pits for that to come in with new tyres.
yeah,
I thought I undercut a couple people with that, but
Yeah.
It
So
is what it is.
the getaway. Lee got a very good getaway, and you kind of stayed with him right at the start,
Mm.
and then who was it? Who was on the second row? V5
YH.
got a good getaway, but he was on the outside, so YH got up his inside, tried to overtake you into turn. What was it? Turn 2,
Turn
3,
2.
somewhere around there. And he ended up having to stay behind. Is there any other POVs of? No, there's none. There's only my POV at the back really that I've got viewable. I started in P10, so I'll turn the sound down because I think I scream at this point. Let's have a look. Yeah, so I the only getaway. Everyone's kept position really after that, other than Adam and Luigi swap places, and I managed to get a good start and go up the middle of Tiggerby and my teammate Poe.
Yeah. What I noticed all race was that Adam and Yari were both having really good battles against each other. Like I would just see it down the bottom left on my map that those two were always fighting against each other, obviously when they were behind you as well.
Bricking myself because because those two were both behind me,
Yeah.
and I thought they were going to catch me, and then they held each other up by battling. Right, I've got a point to raise about someone hitting the rear of me into the first hairpin on lap 1. Tiggerby, I think he broke way too late. He goes into the hairpin, gets Jari on the brakes, but then taps my rear, loses me a lot of time, but I keep the position. But that wasn't the only time he did it. I think it's at lap 3. Let's try and get lap 3. He gets up behind me at the second hairpin and hits me. Is it? Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. He comes from miles back. He's not even an arrow when we go into the corner. Taps my rear. Breaks his front wing. I think that kind of messed up his race. Yeah, a bit aggressive. Very aggressive at this, especially in the first few 3 laps. You wouldn't want to be throwing away your race like that. Do you see anything like that in the race, or?
Again, it was more when I was battling with YH. We were both being pretty aggressive. Obviously, not just him, but myself as well. Just trying to hold the position, but in the end of the day, it's racing. You know, everyone's trying to obviously battle for high position. Can't do much more about that. So
yeah. Alright,
I must say it was an entertaining one though.
Yeah. Alright. I think before we do anything else, I just want to ask you quickly, who was, in your opinion, the driver of the day? Because I know exactly who mine would be.
I would probably have to say the guy that had finished in the lead. Either him, so I'd either say Lee or Poe.
Okay, we're kind of we're kind of on the same wavelength. I would say there is a bit of bias on mine because he is my teammate, but considering where he started, I would say Poe.
Yeah.
Lee he got a gap after the start, obviously, when you guys were battling, and he was getting closed down quite quickly towards the end by Poe. Poe started down in 8th and dropped to 10th off the line, I think. So, I'd say Poe was my driver of the day. Right, what's the next?
As I said, it was pretty close between them.
Yeah, it was very close between both of them during the race. I think had Poe started further up the grid, I think it might have been a lot closer.
Yeah.
But we never know, I guess. The next thing I think we come on to is the widely disputed Cloudy Balloons and Bastos incident.
Yeah, watching that from Bastos's point of view and then Cloudy's point of view, in my opinion, I don't think Cloudy left him any room on the inside.
Wait, so where they make contact on Cloudy's Cloudy's POV, it's the downhill left, isn't it, at the beginning?
Yeah. Yeah.
But on Bastos they don't even touch. So I think it's desync the where Cloudy gets his damage, and then because on Cloudy's POV you just see him jotter over. It's just not natural, really. And then what does Cloudy do? Cloudy, rams him. I'd say. I guess Cloudy's a bit annoyed. Didn't really affect. It didn't affect Bastos. Luckily, Cloudy decided to take himself out the race, but at least he didn't ruin someone else's race. At the same time.
But then Cloudy went and if you keep on watching from Bastos's point of view, it looked like Cloudy just decided to just ram straight into the back of Bastos, and
that's what I'm talking about. He just decided to take himself out, trying to take Bastos out with him, and it just doesn't work really. I don't know if he was trying to take Bastos out with him, but that's what it looks like. And it kind of backfired. Now, where's the next interesting part? Because it starts to die down a little bit after this. Poe gets past me, and then I think Jari might have had front wing damage. I think.
Really?
Because he dropped massively back from me. He dropped about 3-4 seconds to me. I don't know if it was, or he just got held up, but I feel like it was front wing damage, because he was. But then, when he went into the pit stops, he didn't have it changed, so maybe if it was very small front wing damage. I'm not sure. I know Army definitely got front wing damage, because the way he slammed into the back of me, he definitely should have. But yeah, it kind of died down until the pit stops, really, and we had a lot of varying strategies, because we all pretty much did the one stop. I don't know if anyone did the two stop, but it was quite an easy softs to mediums, wasn't it? Because
I think everyone in the top 10 had started on the softs. Someone started on mediums. I can't remember who though.
I
think that may have been Bastos that started on the mediums.
Let's have a look. It was MCR. Oh, there we go. MCR. But MCR lagged out the session, so not quite sure. Or he was in
really
Ghost.
well for him.
Yeah, the strategy went perfectly. Right, here's where it gets interesting, because Lee starts to break away, as does YHYY, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. And then there is there's a 4-way battle then, I think, for 4th place between. I think you are in 4th at this point, and then there's my teammate Poe. This is around lap 9, so it's you, then Poe, then F1 Racer, then me. And I'm quite far back from this, so I get quite a good view. And I guess there's V5 just in front, but he's just far enough away, I think. So I think it turns into 2 separate battles, really. It turns into me versus Adam, and you versus Poe. Poe, I think, gets you around the outside of the hairpin.
I think it was I think I went around the outside of the hairpin. He went around the inside of it.
Oh, the other way around then. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just watch this, because he got great. Wait, is this the right lap? No, I'm on lap 6 on your PV.
In fact, no. Yeah, well, it was the hairpin. Yeah.
Yeah, he went up the inside. You tried to. Yeah, he just got you. I was going mad when that happened. To be fair, he kind of deserved it after his calamitous Australian race. But Adam starts to. He doesn't really slip away, but Poe starts to get away, and then Adam, me, and you just stick in formation for a while until I think you're the first to pit. Really, I think.
Yeah, I think it was lap 10 or 11 I pit.
Yeah, I think it was. It was around then. I think it was lap 10. Okay. Um, you were
Yeah,
definitely
because
the
Adam
first to pit,
overtook me on that lap.
and then it was Adam, and then it was me, I think. Um,
Mm.
uh, all the while, Lee was comfortably leading my HYY was in a world of his own. And this, well, in at this point, but Poe was there and thereabouts. So once you pit, you came out ahead of me, but you were just behind V5. So I don't know if he kept that position.
Uh, I'll have to have another look. Oh, that was also who I started on the mediums. I think Army had no. Did Army come in at the same? No, Army came in at the same time as I did.
Yeah.
New Waluigi started on mediums as well.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. He always goes for a different strategy.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah.
it almost worked, I think. But
I would never risk the mediums at that point because
mm,
you got a long way to go on the mediums.
yeah. But then
Wait,
throughout the race, it was more of me just trying to catch up to V5, but he was going too quick. I
yeah.
couldn't catch him up at all.
Yeah. The back of the race was quite boring. The front of the race was quite. I'd say how boring. Yeah, I guess not much happened. Not many positions changed except from Poe overtaking YH, which I think I've got a view on.
Maybe on YH's POV.
Yeah, okay,
Oh no,
it's
it was when
lap
he went into the
16.
pit. Yeah.
Um,
No, was
both
it
pits,
16? Oh,
so
yeah.
uh, yeah, just easily down the straight with the DRS. Um, yeah, it wasn't the most exciting race, to
No.
be honest.
Especially for Lee, he was probably just
Oh
getting bored
yeah,
at the front.
he was probably just trying to get it to the end, just
Yeah.
keep it going. Um, yeah, this is the point in the race where basically the battling, the interesting bit of the race comes from the midfield once again, and it's once V5 starts to get away, and it's me with Adam and Jari, and them two are switching places, trying to close you up. I think
Yeah.
for was it 5th place?
Yeah. P5.
Yeah. So this is where it got interesting because Noah Luigi pit on lap 16. He went really deep on the mediums. Yeah, we were setting about the same lap times, but Jari was going quicker than us, and then he'd battle with Adam, and then that he'd lose more time, and then yeah, that's the cycle that kept happening with them two. And I think the gap slowly came down because I don't know about you. I think you were using less ERS than me. I think I was just abusing the ERS.
Yeah. I basically had ran out of fuel by about lap 17, so
Yeah.
I was more of just using my ERS to try and manage how
Yeah.
quick I was going. Obviously, when it came down just to the long straight, that was when I'd just go and overtake. The rest of it, I'd be in like low or medium, just trying to preserve it for that straight.
Yeah. I had the problem. I had the problem though of my tyres were going off towards the end of the race.
Yeah.
But I was still using very high fuel mixture. Probably didn't help. But the gap kept closing, and it looked for a point that about lap 27 I was close enough. I was gonna try it, and then I made a mistake. I can't remember where I made a mistake, but I lost about. I remember. Turn
It was
10,
after the long right-hander. Yeah.
which is the no, I made a mistake in the middle sector. The turn 10, which is the second of the double lefts. I touched the grass on the inside.
Yeah.
And lost so much momentum. But I think yeah, the gap at the end. Not many overtakes in the second half of the race. Who's that all the way
It
back?
was
Is that
more. It looked like
Tigaboo?
it was just a battle for P5 really between
It was.
you,
It
me,
looked like a battle, but it didn't.
Gary,
Yeah,
and Adam. So
yeah. Jari and Adam. Adam definitely fell off towards the end. Um, away from Jari, and Jari just couldn't gain the time that he needed to. But to be fair, at the end of the race, he was right up behind me. So, I'm just looking through the last lap. Yeah, I was quite far behind you on the straight. That's how much time I'd lost. So, yeah. So, I guess we go through the results now. Let me find them. There we go. Right, results. So, Lee won by 3 seconds
no surprises
to
there.
yeah, no surprises. To Poe, who was very good in coming and gaining 6 places from his qualifying. YHYY finished third. Those three were within 6 seconds. So I guess it was close, but yeah, not close enough for their liking. V5 was fourth. So those two actually, YH and V5 actually swapped positions, which is a bit surprising. J Cole, yourself, fifth. Myself in sixth. And Jari in seventh. We are separated by 8/10 overall.
I think for me it says here it was 5/10, but between the three of us, yeah, it was
between the
separated
three
by
of
about
us,
8/10.
yeah. It was 4/10 between me and you, and then about 3.5 to Jari from me. F1 racer Adam was 8th. Say strong performance, but I guess in the race he just didn't quite have the pace he had in quali. Waluigi. Oh God.
Yeah, in ninth.
No, Waluigi 9th. I get that name wrong quite a lot. Dropped a few positions with his strategy.
I think the mediums probably weren't just working out for him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the mediums at the start probably wasn't the best strategy call. Bastos got himself in the points, which cannot be said for either of the Mercedes, which is, I'd say, the biggest shock of the whole thing. Both Mercedes failed to score a point. After
especially
I don't know where
Tigaboo
finished. I think Tigaboo finished in 6th in Bahrain or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
It was around Bastos. And an Army won the race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big shock. MCR lagged out of the session. So he finished 13th, miles back. Cloud of Balloons retired after the collision with Bastos, and Don Davey, who we didn't see after lap 2. Don't know what happened to him really. All I saw was yellow flags at the last corner, and
that was about it.
and the retirement thing which said Don Davey has retired from the session. Fastest lap has gone. It went to who was it? This race was full of surprises. Not only did he finish out the points, but he set the fastest lap. Tigaboo, 33 flat. Which is
at least he got something out of it.
It was. I'm guessing he did that on the ultras though. Or no, maybe. He wouldn't have done that on the ultras. It would have been the softs, but maybe he pitted very much later than other guys. He's faster than Lee, by a long shot. But Lee has the second fastest time at 33.9.
Overall, it was a bit of a quiet race, but
quiet.
It was one that's most of us are probably not gonna remember because, as I said, it was quite a boring race.
I might remember it. It was my first points of the season, so I'll take that. It was Tara Russell's first points of the season as well, so I will definitely take that. And I
Fair
think
play.
Lee might remember it because I think that's his first. It was his first win.
Yeah.
I think he came. He came second in Australia. Because Skeven retired, and then Lee
Gary
pit
got
and
first in
Jari
Aussie.
won. Jari won.
Yeah. So that was a tight one. We've got our next track, which is Azerbaijan.
The Lord and Saviour.
Which,
Oof.
yeah.
Baku. I am a big fan of that circuit.
Definitely prefer it over China. I can say that now.
I will say that. There are a few tracks I do prefer it, but it is one of my favourites, and I tend to go well there.
Yeah.
Whatever league I'm in, it tends to go well. So obviously it's a street track, so you can pretty much throw form out the window. Predictions. So I'm saying. So we did this last week. We said pole lap. Who's going to get pole, and then the top 3 in the race. So
if he stays down in D2, I'd say Lee. In pole.
Yep.
P2, I'd probably have to say New Luigi.
So you're saying Lee's going to win as well?
Yeah, I'd say Lee as well for the win.
And Peter in the race is Noah Luigi.
I'd probably have to say P3 would beat Adam, only because I've raced him at Azerbaijan.
I know he's quite quick
on the last
there.
game. And I know, yeah, he is.
Last game
quick.
he was very quick. I think I commentated over a PRL race when he was in Div 1, and he surprised everyone.
Yeah, because I race him in AOR as well. And
yeah.
He is very quick, I must say. So I'll probably say he'd get on the podium for sure.
Was that F4? F4?
So,
or is it Assist League?
No, it's actually the Assist League.
Okay, the Assist League. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay. I'll go. As I said, I'm pretty much throwing form out the window. I'd go pole. See, the thing is, Lee had such a dominant margin. I kind of want to go to Lee, but I kind of don't think he will.
Okay.
I'm gonna just throw it in. I'm gonna say V5.
Okay.
Not a bad choice. And then I'd go for the race. I'd say Lee's gonna win. I'd put Adam second, and then I'd put Jari third. From what I've heard, it's not Jari's best track, but he's still better than most people around there.
Yeah.
So I'm confident about that. So yeah, that is the races rounded out. I'm just gonna see if I can get the standings.
I've got them up here, so I've got.
Is it updated for China? Yeah.
Yeah. So Jerry's up in first, 3 points up ahead of Lee. Army's in third, only 5 points up ahead of me, so I'm in fourth. YH is in fifth with 23. New Luigi in sixth, literally 1 point behind YH. V5 is in seventh. Poe in eighth. Pete's in ninth. And then round out top 10 for it is Tiggerby in 10th. Then we've got Bastos, MCR, yourself, Harry Noag, Adam, Cloudy, Danger, and then rounding it out is Don Davey. But Cloudy and Don Davey haven't obviously got any points yet.
And what, has Simsai got points, or is he just not done a race yet?
Oh no, he hasn't got any points either.
I think he hasn't done a race. That's why.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't see him in Bahrain or in China, so
I didn't see him in Australia. I don't think so. I mean, there's only been
Yeah.
one McLaren the whole season. You got the constructors, because I can't get them up, which is quite annoying. I can only get it from Australia for some reason.
Haven't got the constructors up. All I've just got is the drivers' championship. But looking at it, think the Force Indias are top of it.
That sound
Let
about
me
right
double
because
check.
those two, yeah, they've been consistent. I'd
Yeah,
say it's
Force Indias
probably,
are at the top.
yeah, Force India, McLaren, or something like
I
that.
think Mercedes are next.
Yeah, Mercedes. So Force India, Mercedes,
Then McLaren.
McLaren, Ferrari or Renault. One of them, I think. It's close between Ferrari, Renault, and
Yeah.
Haas, I think.
Yeah.
Then I'd
In fact,
probably
the Haas
say.
doesn't look like they're doing too well.
Oh yeah, because Skeven went after round one.
Yeah.
I think last is the Williams because there's no drivers. I can work it out backwards. I think Red Bull is probably ninth. Yeah, because they didn't score any points in China. They didn't get any in Bahrain, and only Peter got third in Australia, so that's 15. No, was it second?
That's the only points
No,
that
it's
they've
third.
got,
It was
yeah.
third. So they've got 15, and then I think it's Toro Rosso. It's Toro Rosso or Haas for.
I think it's Haas.
I think it's Haas 8th, and then Toro Rosso 7th. Because we've got 18 plus 8, 26. I don't know how many Haas have got. It's quite close, and then top 6. We've already gone over those. I am just gonna say this. Obviously, this week we've probably had a shorter podcast. Next week, we have. Well, I haven't told Jack about this, but I plan for next week if anyone wants to come on the podcast. And basically, we are going to ask you quickfire questions, I guess. It was done in Div 1 podcasts of old. I don't know if it's still done. But yeah, it will be just any questions we can think of, pretty much. It doesn't have to be to do with racing, but that's just going to be a segment of our Round 4 podcast after Baku. So anyone that wants to come on at all, just tell us before next week's race, and we'll get you on. First come, first serve, obviously, but I think that's it for the podcast today. So, do you want to see us out?
Yeah, that's fine. Right, thank you guys for watching this podcast. Obviously, if you have stayed through this long, then thank you for that.
Fair
play. Hopefully you have enjoyed us ranting on about China for the past sort of half an hour, and that you'll tune in next week to after we have done the race over in Baku. Thank you for watching, and see you guys next week.